Whoop whoop. What is good, y'all? It's your homie, Seth Moon, aka Caligreen Too Fresh, Carnival Spirits, FagoLovers.net. We got the one and only motherfucking leader of the Fago gang, Wil E Haze. What's good though?
What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm literally just posting out the
Man,
fucking
just
podcast. All right, I'm
oh,
on.
you good, man. You good. Shout out to the chat. We got Charles Reeves, what's good? Shout out to anyone else up in there.
I'm gonna pull this up too so I can see when people. There we go.
But yeah, man. Wil E Haze, why don't you go ahead and start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Man, I like to smoke weed.
That's right.
I think that's where the whole everything comes from, man. I mean, I've always loved hip hop music. I used to steal my dad's like tapes and CDs and his little CD player, little expensive them shits are probably expensive or whatever. But I used to steal like that stuff from him, listen to some of his music. And yeah, and then eventually I just found my parents didn't smoke none. I just found weed, and I think it was like Cheech and Chong movies. I was like, oh man, that's cool. I was like, I'll never smoke weed, but that looks cool. You know what I mean? Like as a little kid, my boy came over one day and we smoked, and then yeah, I love like smoking music, like Cypress Hill shit early on. I love I got a song on the most recent project called on Lord of the Flies. It's called Tone Loc. Tone Loc's a rapper. I'm sure y'all know who Tone Loc is. He did the voices on like Baby Kids and different movies and shit. And he got a song on his first album called Chiba Chiba. I think it's like the first weed song I've ever heard in my life, or a song like completely dedicated. Not talking about like hitting the joint. I mean, all three verses, when people used to write 3-4 verses, are about smoking weed. And I think I credit a lot to that as a youth, like hearing music like that. I was like, oh, this is cool. Weed sounds cool. And I don't know, I was just always into hip hop. That's what I was around. So yeah, I'm Wil E Haze. I make music to smoke to. And then there's this little thing called Fago Gang that just fucking. I'll get this if you want. I'll get the story real quick. I think it was 2018. I'd have to look up the date, but it's New Orleans J Day, and we had a show. Our show was at this other spot. I guess they ended up like Psychopathic ended up taking over our show, so we were all at the House of Blues. It was a sold out show. I think Light headlined for us that night, and I had this idea for Fago Gang. I had the song in my head for. It was probably about 8 months to a year. I'd say about 8 months till I found the beat. Like I was looking for the right beat, the right energy. I just couldn't find it, and I found it. I just did like a real quick recording up in Reno, actually, at the homegirl's house with my boy Tony Smoker, and shout out to Shelly. And then we was going down to we got invited to do the J Day shit. Someone invited me. Fear You threw my name out, and I got invited to go perform at that shit. So when we went down there, I was like, let's do Fago Gang. And my mind said, let me just do merch for this song, because I've seen artists just do merch for a song before. And that's all it was supposed to be. I'm not kidding. That's all it was supposed to be. We get to the venue. I got the T-shirts and the hats. And I had already had people handing out stickers or whatever just to slap up the city. And before the venue opened, I sold out of half the Fago Gang merch. All the people on the inside and working, because there's quite a few people. But I sold out of, I'm not kidding, half the merch. I sold out of all the merch that night. I stashed a couple of things at the crib, and I gave them out the next days or whatever when ICP was performing the next 2 days. But yeah, that's all it was supposed to be. And then when I got home, I think I bought the Instagram off some kids in Canada or some shit. They had a Fago. I don't even think they were Juggalo related. And they sold me that shit for like $50, and it's kind of its own history at this point in time. But yeah, that's it's just supposed to be a song and a piece of merch. And I was just trying to I had been in the culture for a minute at that point in time, because I wasn't always down and around, but I didn't want to like also come in and be like, oh, let me just start doing Juggalo songs and Juggalo shit, you know what I mean, or whatever. I didn't feel that was the, you know what I mean? And I did something I felt. So, you know what I mean? I gave it that. And then not for nothing, what year was that? 2018, I think, was Juggalo Day. That song is unreleased. I've never released that song. If you want to hear it, I know people who bump that shit from their phone from recordings live, or you got to watch it at a show. I've never released that song. I don't know why. Just like I will. Oh, it's coming, but I've never released the song.
Crazy. That's kind of like one of those just you have to know. If you ain't in the know, you just don't know.
And I almost kind of like keeping it like that, and because I know if I would have released it back then, I think the numbers would have went wild on it with everybody. But like, I think it'll still go when I'm not say if when I do drop it. But there's a whole project it's on. It'll probably just be called Fago Gang the album, pretty much, or something like that, or Fago Gang. And then I got a music video concept for Fago Gang, and I can't not release the visual for it because I think the visual is just gonna hit what we got planned up here. So. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Wil E Haze, thank you for having me. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, Mr. Moon.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, no problem. So the first time I actually ever like heard about you was Juggalo Weekend 2020. Like me, my wife, we were in line to go in, I think right behind you guys, either the first or second night.
Super Gathering, right?
It not the Gathering, Juggalo Weekend. In
okay.
LA.
What city were? Oh, in LA. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, LA. I remember LA.
Yeah, like right before right before the COVID like popped off.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like literally like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, it was February, and that shit happened in March because March is my birthday, and I remember we canceled. I had flights to take my daughter to Hawaii and everything. For the whole family and all that, and we all canceled everything. Like my mom, my dad was gonna go. Like I had people come. You know what I mean? Like family like that. So. Yeah, but yeah, that was I remember that J Day. That was a good J Day.
Hell yeah, like we were literally like we were in line to go in like right behind you guys, and you were all just Fago ganged like head to toe, and handing out the stickers and shit. Like
yeah,
I was like, damn, like what the fuck is this? And I went and looked you up. I listened to like your shit you had with Two Bongs. Like
R.I.P. Two Bongs.
Yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P. man. Why don't you talk a little bit about Two Bongs?
So Two Bongs is probably like a big reason I'm in the community or claim Juggalo or any of that. I was in I'm getting goosebumps. I was in Miami, Florida, and I had found a couple different cats. I found a cat named No Emotion Gold Mask. And I found Two Bongs. And I don't know if I found one through the other. Because I was trying to like find some local cats to do music with or underground. Because I did film, I do music, you know what I mean? I do music, but like just to do things in the scene, whatever, creatively, whatever. And actually, I was down there. My boy, I knew a dude from my boy Big Fee when I went down to Miami. We did music too, but that was more like that just wasn't. It just wasn't. That wasn't a different scene, I would say. But he fucked with us heavy. But so, anyways, I ended up meeting Two Bongs, and No Emotion. And then a little bit later, my homie had a dude who came through, and he's key figure. His name was Oddfather. He actually went by Grim back in the day. He's like the original Grim in the scene. And I'll even tell a quick story for Fago lovers. I'm gonna get sidetracked here, but remind me about Two Bongs, okay? And Oddfather, and I'll tell you how I got in with that. Yeah. So, anyways, this kind of correlates though. So I'm doing music with Oddfather, and Oddfather tells me, "Oh, I used to do music, whatever." We had come up with this new name for him and this whole thing. There's an album out called Oddfather. You can find it online. It's not streaming anymore, but you can find it online. I played at the Gathering one night, and the homies were tripping. They were like, "Bro, what album was that you played? That he is fucking dope." So I showed him and shit, but anyways, this dude says, "Oh, I used to perform under Grim. Go check out this shit called." I asked him, "Do you have any old footage?" You know what I mean? Because we're trying to market him and shit. And he tells me, "Check with my boy." So I hit his boy up. His boy tells me to go look on Fago Lover's site back in like July 2006 or some shit, dude. Because it's all like dated or whatever, if I remember correctly, right? And this is like, dude, we're talking now 10, 15 years ago or something close. Maybe not that long. Yeah, 12 years ago, something. So I go on the site, I look it up, and no shit, there's my boy Oddfather, Grim, performing with his homie, the dude that sent me to the site and everything on the page. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I see some dude in the background holding the video camera. So I asked Homeboy and I asked Godfather. I can't remember Homeboy's name right now, Sean or something like that. We'll call him Sean. And I asked them, I'm like, yo, who's the man with the video camera? I don't know. I'm like, and I'm one of those types that like I'm gonna exhaust all leads, figure out what I want. So I messaged the website. Hi, my name's Wil E Haze, and I'm managing Oddfather Who Went by Grandma, like whatever. Do you happen to know who was at this show? The guy filming, and the guy messages back me, Scotty D, and I was like, dope. Is there any way I can get this footage? And I don't know who Scotty D is at the time. I don't. His name's, you know what I mean. Not it doesn't ring bells like it does now. And he was like, is there any way I can get the footage? And he's like, yeah, give me an address. So I give my address down in Miami, and he sends me a DVD burnt out with the file so I can, transfer it and everything. Didn't ask me for shipping, didn't ask me for shit. And I was like, bro, I appreciate, I messaged back. I appreciate, I probably still got the email somewhere. But I just thought that was funny. So Oddfather was a juggalo, and Rabid is a juggalo, Two Bongs. I mean, Two Bongs was, how do you say, Joker carded up with tats. You know what I mean? Just like legs, arms. And like live that shit, bro. Live that shit. And he loved Tech 9 too. And he had like a dope rapid fire delivery and a little bit of the dark stuff, which I like. And there's this music video that I could find online still. And I don't know, we linked up somehow. We linked up through I probably hit him up and said, hey, do you know what's up with getting on some shows around here? Because that was my shtick. I wasn't from there, right? And I wanted to get on the scene and do music. So I found out who did what, and not everything was in the juggalo scene. Cause Miami is just hip hop. Like we used to do these hip hop shows with this cat named Rudy, Vice City Cyphers or whatever I think it was called. And I would bring Oddfather on there, or it would be, like some hardcore gangster shit, or, you know what I mean? Like whatever different genres of hip hop, you know what I mean? Like people would perform at these type of shows, and there'd be people in there. Like Miami would show out for the underground back then. I don't know about now, but I know back then they would really show out. And so anyways, through those two guys and hanging out with them, they told me more about the juggalo world. I think it was Oddfather who might have said something about the Gathering. I'm like, what's the Gathering or whatever? I go look it up online, and that's about the time like the Jelly Roll footage was out. You know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. So it was still a Cave and Rock shit. I saw wild footage, and I was like, oh, this shit is fucking lit. Like, and they play like these big, huge rappers and shit. I'm like, this shit's fucking fresh. So we hit them up, and it was me. We were going to go as the Bad Folks, because Oddfather had a song called Bad Folks, and we were going to try to make him shine. And it was going to be me or him. Then, like kind of like Fago Gang's not a group, but like kind of like how we have everyone. But it was gonna be Oddfather, No Emotion, myself, and Rabid were all gonna go together and do like a medley set or something like that. I messaged them. They messaged back and they were like, "Hey, we had someone pop up, So I go to email it back, or like how do I say? Somebody cancel. So I go to email it back, and they're like, "Nah, sorry." It's already been filled. And I was like, all right, whatever. So like the next year or two or whatever, like whatever it was, a year or two later, I think it was about a year later, maybe, we messaged them back, and it was just me and Two Bongs, because we were doing our thing at the time. And we got on. And to back up a little bit, so me and Two Bongs started doing some shows together. At some point in time, he tells me he has this like side weed character. Like there's a dope music video called Murder Suicide by Rabid, Rabbid. I shot, I didn't shoot it. I directed it. My boy is actually the one who shot it, but I directed it. It was shot in my warehouse. And it was just a dope little badass video that I felt we made at the time. And we start working together. He tells me about this side character named Two Bongs and some weed shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm interested. And we create this Wil E Haze Two Bongs thing. At the time, I'm not going to get into detail, but he had dipped off for a little bit when we started the project. And then when he came back to the city, we got everything going again, and nothing negative like that, but we got everything going again. Then we got the project out, and it just took off. And he has fans in the Juggalo world. I got just fans, and some of them probably happen to have been Juggalo, to be honest, ahead of time. But we went to our first gathering basically, and I mean, motherfuckers walked up on us and knew who the fuck we were. You know what I mean? Straight up. Like, I'm not trying to sound cool or nothing, but we had already had a good little presence of what we were doing, and had fans waiting to see us. We brought No Emotion with us actually to our first gathering. I've always brought out the homies. I've always the homies, the tour, but I've always brought out the homies in the sense because I just feel it's a good look and I want everyone to eat. I guess I'm like a socialist in that sense. And yeah, it was on from there, bro. It was on and popping. You know what I mean? Like, we just took off. We did tours with Project Pat. We did two tours with Little White. I ran the second tour with Little White. First one we got on. The second one, like I was the one taking in the money and paying White out and making our own money. And then after that, we did I don't know. We just did a bunch of shows. We did the first Bone Thugs and 3-6 Mafia show before the verses and all that shit. Go look it up. Back in the day, was in Miami, and we did that shit together. And yeah, we did a lot of shit together, man. We did Haze, was not Haze, Jelly Roll's road manager at the time. I was selling weed to him and his mom, or whatever. I'll say, I don't care. He threw us shows. You know what I mean? Like we were just getting, you know what I mean? We were getting shit. At some point in time, we were like, all right, we're gonna start asking for some money, and we did. You know what I mean? We were doing a lot of weed. There was weed sessions down in Miami. Even though Miami's illegal for weed still, there was still weed sessions. We do all the dab sessions down there. Yeah, man. So we made a tight bond, and then like towards the end, we had some differences and some shit popped. I don't want to say popped off. It wasn't bad, but we had some differences, and we weren't talking. And then he passed. So it's just that was pretty shitty. You know what I mean? To not be able to. That's that shitty lesson you learn to like always just get over it, reach out to your people, whatever. You know what I mean? So I was literally headed out on the tour when I got the call. My homegirl Tori called me, and she told me about that shit. So RIP Two Bongs. We actually just did. I saw a thing come up. It was like 8 years ago. Tour Two Bongs just like last month or some shit like that. So yeah, but that was the homie, man. And because of him, I'm in the scene, and every time I do a show, I always say his name, and I don't think without him or Oddfather, I would be. I wouldn't be in the scene where I'm at with everybody and in the culture. And honestly, I love it. One real quick thing is we first got there. I remember I took a dab hit or whatever. It's our first day, first gathering, and we're gonna perform on whatever Saturday night or whatever, and Saturday something. And I just was like, man, I feel like I'm home. And he's like, yeah. And it was his first gathering too, but he's like, yeah, that's what people call it. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So there was just a lot of things that it just trickled on from there on, and. Yeah, I don't mean to rant, but yeah, RIP Two Bongs, man. That was the Mud Rabbit. That's the fucking homie. If you don't know, go try to go find him online. And some of it's just kind of scarce to find. It's not on streaming. I'm trying to get a hold of his people to look, let me just put it online. Y'all can have. I don't want the money for it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want it online so everyone can find everything easier. If you know Suicide, he did music with Suicide. They got an album together, Sewer Bongs or something like that. I think it's called. Just a dope. Yeah, just a dope ass rapper, man. He was sick, dude. He was sick with it. Like, and he was a drummer, so like I had to keep up, not rapping, but I had to keep up when he wanted to do the chop. Like, that's all you hear, the Wil E Haze feel amazing when I'm blazing on this plant that that's because of him, because he's rapping fast. I'm like, I'm not gonna let you do that on every track and not let me step in. You know what I mean? And that's what we were right. I remember writing that project. We would FaceTime, like, or whatever, the Skype, Zoom, whatever at the time it was. Probably Skype or some shit, and we'd like tell each other our lyrics back and forth. I got some of that stuff recorded. I need to probably find somewhere, and just pictures of our lyrics back and forth and stuff like that and whatnot. And like that was just a cool project, and that shit took off. We actually had some kid from Venezuela is the one who mixed the album. He follows me we follow each other on Instagram. I found him again. He's like DMNU Beats or something like that on my Instagram, but yeah, he was a cool cat. He mixed that whole project free, and not for nothing, them songs still ride. You know what I mean? Like, for Two Bong shit, I got a song, I did it at the gathering this year. It's Smoke With My People, but I got a remix, and it was like, what are his favorite verses? So sometimes it shows if I got the time on the set, or at the festivals, I definitely do it. But like, I just let his verse ride. You know what I mean? I let that shit play, and I'll do his little doubles, but just to let him be at the show. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna let him. Let that ever go. I think that's what you got to do. I don't know. I wish someone would do that. If me, I hope y'all motherfuckers do it for me, because I go hard. You know what I mean? All right, now shut up.
Nah. You know what, man? I could see Shade still letting Ben up like just play through his set for you. I could see that.
Yeah. I appreciate that, but we don't want that to happen. I want to do it with him. I love that song.
Right. We want you here.
Yeah.
But man, going back a little bit though, you talk about No Emotion Gold Mask, man. Like I used to rock with this shit heavy, like back whenever like he was submitting his shit for like the Funk Volume contests and shit.
I was around during that time. I was there.
Yeah, like I want to say like actually like thinking about it, I actually think I remember your guys' tapes from back then, like if I'm not wrong, because I used to do like I used to have a little weed collective myself, like not for rapping, we did YouTube shit. We called ourselves Half Hour Stoner Power. But we used to do these mixtapes and I was always just listening to like weed music around that time. So I'm pretty sure like I remember bumping some Haze back in those days.
You can find this online. If you look up Rabbit and you type in Hops, was it Hobson? Or was it Jaron Benton or Dizzy Wright or one of those guys? It might have been one of those guys and not Hobson. But I think it was the Hobson show. He did a Rabbit performed it. Hobson, this is people like we're doing like the day in the life blogs or whatever. Rabbit performed it. 99% sure it was Hobson. I filmed it and I filmed the like Rabbit shit or whatever. And, anyways, yeah, that was that whole same time Funk Volume was all together because their DJ was there. I can't think of his name. I chopped it up with him for a second. But yeah, that's just a funny that you mentioned Funk Volume because yeah, that was that early on was that time while I was in Miami still. Like that was a heavy thing going on with everybody and their submissions and shit like that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So how did you meet No Emotion?
Not through music. He submitted to be an actor in one of our films. So I went to film school down in Miami, and I have a series of films they were short films called Yugo and Super Dave, like a car Yugo, YUGO, and Super Dave. You can look them up; they're online. There's even like a 45-minute behind-the-scenes documentary of the making of. The first one's literally shot on film, like fucking 16 millimeter film. Everything else we shot on was digital, but that was a project from my class, and it was so good that, for what it was, that they would show my films to the next classes. I heard my name ring for years because I was like Ferris Bueller, bro. I was like a 3-year school. I was in that shit for like 6 years, dog. I wasn't trying to get out of school, or not Ferris, Van Wilder. I'm sorry, Van Wilder. But yeah, so No Emotion hit me up to be in. He was gonna play a character called Darrell, I believe. Him, and then if you've ever watched on YouTube, or TikTok, whatever, Instagram, there's a guy named Steven Joe from Miami, and he the chain snatcher, Mr. Kaka. So if you've ever seen that dude, back in the day, his numbers were wild back in the day. He's big again now, but he was also going to play this character we had named Darrell. I was in contact with him to do that, and we just never ended up shooting that piece. This other piece that we were going to do, but yeah, I met No Emotion because he submitted on like Craigslist or something to act in this short film for us type shit, and that's how that came about. And yeah,
that's crazy.
So I guess that's how. Yeah, when I said earlier when I met him through yeah, I don't know who I met first, but once I found out, I don't know if I even knew that because I knew him by his government. I don't know if until later he told me, "Oh, I do this." So I probably still met him and Two Bongs at the same time, but that was probably previous to both of them. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But yeah, that's literally how I met No Emotion. And bro, we've traded a lot of tips back in the day, and even now today's about just different things, man. Like he's a good dude. He's a good dude to bounce off of, and I'm still trying to take that motherfucker on tour one day somehow. God damn it! Like I keep on telling him, like, hey, bro, you get these dates. Like I need to get you on the road on these shows. But we're working on a couple of South Florida shows right now to continue this tour on, and I'm gonna definitely make him pull up for those.
Oh yeah, so you got this tour right now, the Fago Gang or Don't Bang tour. So who all is coming out with you? I saw there's like a fucking sick ass lineup.
You gotta bring the whole gang with me. What are you talking about? So
That's right.
no, I'm just playing. So on the tours, myself, we got Wil Gates, or excuse me, Billy Defense, formerly known as Wil Gates. You got Lil Yak. You got MC Whore. I know he wants me to say it like that. We got DJ Smoke with us, and then that's the main touring group. But then we got breakdowns of like the first couple days, the first like 3 nights or something like that. My boy Sly from Hated by Most up in Michigan, he's pulling up with us to 3 of the shows. Then we get what is it? We get over to the first leg, second half. Once we get to the like Virginia, was it Virginia Beach? Mad Max is gonna pull up with us for about like 4 or 5 shows on the East Coast. Then after that, I think it's just us in Washington. Then after that, I keep on saying that. Starting in the Idaho Falls show, Acetone should be on the entirety of the rest of the tour. So there'll be some flyer renditions coming soon. We got TKD is going to be on what I'm calling the Cali Southwest run, where we're doing Phoenix to Vegas to LA to Carson City. So my boys TKD will be on that. And then Smoke won't be on that section DJing. We'll have a different DJ actually, which would be the DJ from TKD, my boy Manny Fresh. After that, I'm trying to think of who else we got with us. I know I'm leaving somebody out. Shade Hecka will be with us for Texas to Arkansas. So 2 Texas shows, a Houston show, or 2 Texas shows, I'm sorry, Tulsa show and Arkansas. Then we're taking a little break after that. And right now I'm in the works of talking to New Mexico, Colorado. We could do Kansas, Illinois, like Chicago, St. Louis, Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, Minnesota, something, Tennessee. What was something? There's something else by Tennessee, possibly Pensacola, fucking North Carolina, and then something else by Tennessee. I can't remember what it was. Atlanta, I think maybe. So yeah, it's just I'm tired.
That sounds like a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And then being full-time dad up here. Yeah. So yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
So yeah, I know like my boy Shade, I hit him up because I've been managing Shade for the last like 6 years now. So I hit him up and I was like, hey man, you should try to get on the Vegas date, because that's my hometown right now, and it's the day after my birthday. And he's like, hold up, let me ask. And the next thing I know, it's like the next day, and he sends me a flyer that shows him on like all those dates. And I'm like, oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. He didn't know. I'll just say this to whatever, I could be exposing shit. He hit me up. He's like, yeah, I hope it's cool with the flyer shit. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like you're promoting. I was like, we actually have a character for you. Like you were already, I could show you the file right now of Shade. But it was never finalized because Mike's computer broke down. Then Mike got another computer, but for whatever reason didn't have that one. But he used another computer to finish up. But he finished us up because we didn't know if Shade was what he was going to do at that point in time. Because at first Shade was going to be on the whole tour, and then just things and times and lives and situations. Shade was like, look, I could probably commit to these days. I was like, cool. We already got this character, but it's just not finalized. So y'all will see a character of Shade. Y'all will see a character of Acetone and a couple of the homies on the tour that they'll have their own little homies and shit like that. We still got some more fresh shit to drop. We ain't dropped yet.
Hell yeah. And you say you're bringing Acetone out to Vegas?
Yeah. He'll be, he's doing like Idaho Falls, Salt Lake City. I think, what do we do? Mojave after that. And then Phoenix, Vegas, LA, Carson City, and then the Texas run.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I was supposed to see Acetone recently whenever Darby came through. And yeah, he got locked up.
Was you're talking about yeah. That's why I did the free Acetone track, because I saw motherfuckers talking shit online like, keep them locked up. What the fuck's wrong with y'all, bro? Even if y'all, I know some people. I know some of the homies was kind of, but some of y'all was. Come on, man. Some of y'all got some ill intentions towards people. What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, man. Like I fuck with Acetone, so like I was excited to see him, and then this was before like news had gotten out, that he was locked up, and I was kicking it at the bar, and I'm like, hey, like looking around, I'm like, where's Acetone? Like I saw Frankie, like
Bro,
I didn't see Acetone anywhere.
I don't know if it was Frankie I hit up. I think I hit up Frankie. I'm hitting this kid's phone. I know he's not a kid, but I'm hitting this kid's phone up, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck, dog? And he's not answering, replying. Like, we were working on a project. Like, I had to send him some beats. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I'm trying to get this project done. I got to, you know what I mean? And then I found out he was locked up. Like, oh, man. So, that's coming too. I shouldn't have revealed that. But me and Acetone got a little, I'm not going to say anything more, but we got something in the works.
Hell yeah. So, whenever you started, like, coming more into the Juggalo culture, like, what were some of your memories, like earliest like memories, like after that gathering that made you just be like, hey, like I fuck with this like heavy, like I wanna keep doing this. And how did you like, I guess what I'm asking is how did you decide to like fully embrace the culture?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, obviously, or honestly, however you want to put it, I came in just as an artist. I had known who ICP was. I had probably downloaded their shit, or sorry, hold on, my brain falls now. I'm tired from all this tour shit, and we ain't even on the road yet. Chicken hunting on Napster or something like that. I remember downloading the Eminem beef shit, you know what I mean, on LimeWire or Napster, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, it was where it came out at the time. So I always knew who they were. I always thought they were pretty dope, like, you know what I mean, like for what it was. But I was in a just different world, in a different genre, and different music, and just around different people. I was just around different people, as easily as I'll put it. So I did, however, like, meet some juggalos randomly in life without not knowing really what was going on. So I lived in Colorado for a while. I was in the service. When I was in the service, there was this kid, and he was getting kicked out the service. And I can't find him to this day, but if anyone knows, I'm 99% sure he had Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J tattooed on his arm. Or it might have been Twisted and then something Insane Clown Posse or something like that on his arms. I can't remember what it was, but it was that. He was in the service in Colorado Springs and fucking Fort Carson. And I remember him trying to school me on some Juggalo shit. You know what I mean? And like, this is what it is, and da-da-da-da. And I mean, I was interested, but I was just in like a gangster rap world, and that's the music that's what we was doing. And not necessarily gangster rap. I wasn't always doing that. I mean, but like, just, that was my where I was, and the people. So I remember that kid early on telling me that, but and that was just a weird Juggalo thing, like early on in and I always want to find this fucking kid. I'm like, I'm gonna find him at the gathering, man. I hope he's okay or doing good or whatever. But as far as like the gathering, what made me want to keep going, I guess just being around Two Bongs. I think it was after the gathering we did the little white tour. I don't know, but we did 2 little white tours, and I just remember like there was a lot of juggalos on the little white tours. You know what I mean? That would pull up, and and the way everyone would be like, oh, whoop whoop, and the camaraderie. That's a big thing about it, was the camaraderie. I really was like, yo, y'all gotta fucking. And I'm just being honest. I didn't come to do it. Oh, I'm gonna come in here and do it. But I was like, y'all got something here, and I dug it. Like I said, the first time I was at the gathering, day 1. I was like, I feel like I'm home. Like I already felt like I belong because I'm an outsider. You know what I mean? I'm mixed of like 4 different things, and I've lived all over. I've never lived in one place too long. So like I'm always an outsider in a sense. So that made me feel very comfortable the way y'all did things. And there was a sense of not like everything was like you had to be like a dedicated ICP, know everything. Like like what I'm trying to say is like it's not just that in the scene. So it wasn't like it was just this. Like juggalos listen to other music and like a lot, and there's a lot of other creatives in the juggalo world. And when I started seeing like all of that, I was like, yo, this is dope, because not everyone's talking about swinging a fucking hatchet. Even though I love like when the clowns do it, I don't always want to hear 50 rappers in a row telling me the same shit. I like a diversity of music, or at least sing it when you do. You know what I mean? I'm swinging my hatchet, whatever. You know, like I don't sing. But I don't know. There's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of like outcasts. I've always been an outcast in a sense. And I don't know, bro. Like I'm doing the shows, being around the people. We started doing them every other year, and I was just at some point, like there was a point in time where people would be like, whoop whoop, I'd whoop whoop back, but like, oh, are you a juggalo? I'm like, oh, and I would explain how I got down, but I wouldn't say I'm a juggalo. If you ask me now, bro, like, yeah, like if you know what I mean, you whoop whoop with me, I'm like, what's up, juggalo? You know what I mean? I put a 17. Where is it at? I put the 17. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do this for. I don't do it because I found a good gimmick. I did it because I found home, or I found what I felt comfortable, and I fuck with a lot of people. There's a lot of good people in our scene. There's a couple shitty people, but ask anyone around about me, and this isn't to gloat or nothing like that at all. Like humbly, I say this, but like everyone will tell you, like I'm a good person. I've looked out for a lot of fucking people, and not for, you know what I mean. Not for, it's not marketing. It's not this. I mean, I've given, you know what I mean, money, merch. Oh, you don't have something here. Oh, I had homeboy pass out in Oklahoma, and I like in the heat, and I let a dude stay in the RV, gave him Gatorade. I mean, we made sure he was all right, but we go to main stage. I let him stay in my shit with my merch. You know what I mean? Like, trust the dude with the whole RV. I don't know this cat. You know what I mean? Like, his friends years later were like, oh, bro, yeah. You know, so like, and I'm not saying that to put things out there, but like, I always try to help a lot of people too. That's just who I am. This is like, you know what I mean? Like, I want everyone to eat. I'm a little bit of a socialist in that sense and whatnot. So I'm not political at all, but like, so I don't know, man, just being around everyone is what made me want to be around everyone. And I'm not trying to like dumb down an answer for you, but like, yeah, just being around everybody, bro. Like a good community, good people, good times. I've met some of my, like Mike Cole gang, bro. That's like one of my great friends, bro. Like if I have a best friend list, he's on my best friend list. You know what I mean? Like I talk to that dude on the regular. I talk to Mike Hoare on the regular. I talk to fucking Looney's been busy doing his shit, but I talk to him like on the phone, like, hey, what's up, dog? How are you? How's life? How's the kid? You know what I mean? I got like, it's not just like, oh, hey, what's up, Juggalo? Whoop whoop. Did you see the new ICP shit? No, like I have friends, and I'm invested into the whole scene. So I just I don't know, devoured me or whatever. I just became what I was around. You know what I mean? So yeah, fucking Juggalo, whoop whoop all fucking day. I had to fight that shit in fucking court, dog. You want to know why I'm a Juggalo? I had to fight that shit in court, dog. I had to fight that shit in court, and I'm not gonna say too much, but when the judge heard what I was doing, I did music and performed at the gathering. She was, and they were like, Insane Clown Posse. They brought up the whole gang shit. This was last year that the gang shit got brought up on me in court in California. And in California, don't play when you say anything about gang. And the judge heard Insane Clown Posse. She said, oh, that's my generation. My little heart said, whoop, whoop. I shit you not in that courtroom. I shit you not, bro. That was some real shit. So, yeah, Juggalo, bro. All day, every day. You know what I mean? When I go to sleep, when I wake up, this, Juggalo, that.
Okay. No, and you know what? I know exactly what you're talking about, because like in the 90s, I was a Juggalo, but I didn't even realize I was a Juggalo. I was just a fan of the music, you know? Right. But I liked a lot of different things. But the 90s were a little different than whenever like you got in, because back then it was like, it was more like name the sixth, and you know what I mean, like gatekeeping back in those days.
Even when I came in, I didn't know, bro. I didn't know. Look, I'll tell you a funny story. Big ass dude at the. It's honestly like we're at the gathering where the shitters are, right where across where Fago Gang camps now or whatever, right at the end of Merch Row. Right there was a tent. I remember dead ass. This big ass dude just comes up to me and like two bombs, like, oh, I know some people in here. It might have been like Suicide or something. I don't know who he knew in there. So we go in there and talk, and I'm just kind of like, do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know anyone. I'm just, probably smoking whatever. And I'm talking like if I'm like this tall, this dude was like this to me, and he got a big old like hatchet fucking shaved into his chest, and he was like, what's up? And I was like, what's up, homie? You know what I mean? Like I'm on my like more like street level shit. I'm like, what's up, homie? He's like, show me your butthole. And I'm like, what? And he's like, show me your fucking butthole. And I'm like, bro, who the fuck? Like, I'm about to chop this big dude in the neck, dog. Like, he's like, or I think he said, or I'll make you, or some shit like that. So now I'm just like, all right, bro, you this, and I would have been like karate chopping this way, dog. Like, he was tall. I'll tell you who he is in a minute. And my boy kind of caught wind and came over. He's like, no, and he like, I was like, all right, cool, because bro, I'm green as fuck. You know what I mean? And I'm really good friends with this dude. I've hung out with him in many a show. One show we just hung out in the bathroom drinking, not even watching the show. Actually, it was in New Orleans. Butthole Ben, if you know who Butthole Ben is, that was one of the first people I met at the gathering. And he's like, "Show me your butthole," and the dude's towering. I'm like, "Bro, we've chopped it up about this story many a times, me and him." But yeah, just funny shit, bro. Like, yeah. Good times.
That's crazy. And that's a funny ass story.
I got quite a few of them. Oh shit.
But all right, so last year though, you dropped Lord of the Flies, and I remember whenever that shit popped up in my release radar, like I fucking bumped that shit, and I was like, dude, this shit goes hard, because I never really heard you on that that more like kind of horrorcore tip.
A little more gritty.
I messaged you immediately after. I was like, bro, like this shit bumps or whatever. And when you woke up, like that was like the first thing you saw, and you told me, you're like, bro, I haven't got a chance to promote this or anything. Like that's the shit.
That was you? That's funny.
Yeah, that was me.
Hell yeah.
But how did you decide to like make a more like dark horrorcore album?
It's nothing to do. There's a total separation of like necessarily what I do musically. Not separation, but like in that sense, there was no ideology of doing, I'm going to do something dark and for the scene and see if this, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to transition from what I do. You're still going to get Wil E Haze weed songs. Just, it's just, I'm an artist and I make music. I've always had a dark side. I've always liked dark shit. You know what I mean? I love the Addams Family. You know what I mean? Like, as a kid, I loved like just the darker things. There's a lot of music that you might not think I listen to that I listen to, and you're like, oh, that's fucking. So I've always had this love for the dark side. I root for the bad guy. You know what I mean? In the gangster world, I root for the bad guy. But in the whatever world, I love the dark shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even just in the world, there's always been an attraction to it. It's always cooler, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like the dark figure versus the nice guy. It's always just like, oh, this dude's got extra whatever. Like it was just always. So I got these beats from a guy. I don't know if I should give. I think I've said this already, so I'll say it again. I got those beats in like 2015, 2016. And some of it, not Lord Haze, some of it was already written. I think I Ain't Fucking With Y'all was already done with me and my homies verse. Part of Tone Loc was written. And I think the first song was already done. Like this, I got the beats in 2015. Maybe I'm lying, and this was recorded in like 2016 or something around that time period. But this was quite a while ago. And I don't want that to take away from the music, but I'm just giving you the insight. So as an artist, it's like when you got to paint it, like artists like, that's the painting he painted. There's probably 50 other fucking versions sitting back there in the back of the warehouse that y'all ain't seeing. You know what I mean? And when I first did music, I'd put, do something, put it out, do something, put it out. Then I would like start to mold and craft things a little bit more. So I'm sitting on this a little bit. I got this other beat. I didn't know what to do with it. I go through and I'm just like, I got albums on here that are ready to go. I might want to touch this up, change this or whatever. But there's probably about, if I show you on my board right now, there's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 EPs. Some of them are almost all recorded. There's the Fago Gang project. And then like another 2 albums or something that all right. And then another shitload of music that's just like rather reference tracks or whatever. But back to this, I'm sitting on it for a while. I go back over and I'm like, let me try to work on this. And this is years later or whatever. And probably 2000, I'm going to say, what is this dropped in 25, 2003, 2002, 2000, 2022, 2022, 2023 is when I think I picked the project back up. And I was going through a lot of the shit that I had to go through, and this is before court started, and there was fuck it, there was a kidnapping. I'm gonna put it that way. You know what I mean? So I was my mental was like pretty dark, and that's where it comes from. It has nothing to do with like, let me do this. I was in a dark place, and I wanted to release that darkness. And when I said take away this pain with pain, like, I'm not sitting there cutting myself, but like, like tattoos or whatever you do is just take this away. It's like, it's so much like up here that I'd rather just be, rocked in the jaw to feel like that mental and that heart pain. So I wrote that song, and again, this is still 2 years before the album drops. And I showed Charlie the song. I was like, hey, check this out. He's like, bro, this shit goes. I did all the vocals. I'm not a mixer or master. I don't do that. But I made my own vocal chain for this one. So that voice you hear, I mean, it's enhanced by Action Paxton, who's Kung Fu's drummer, who mixed the project for me. But that's my vocal chain that I created for it. And I know a lot of people want to hear some more shit on that, what they've requested. But so anyways, I give before Paxton got to mix it, I give the song to Charlie. Charlie comes over to my studio in this booth, actually, but it was over in Vegas, and he does the screams on it, and I'm like, yo, I think we got something. I got to clean up the screams. There's a lot of them, but I'm going to wait for that to get mixed right. And I send it, or I'm in Arkansas. There's a dope ass studio in a big city somewhat nearby. I'm not going to name names because I fuck with them and I don't want it to sound shitty on them. But I went there and I went to go get it mixed, and then the dude just kind of fell off and never got back to me. And we worked everything out with the studio. They actually mixed the Young Z song I did called Nice Guy. But I ended up sending it to Action Paxton. When I went on the tour, I was like, hey man, I know everyone asks, hey, how much you charge to mix and master? But I was like, I'm serious. I got money and I got a real project that I want to get out. And I know Paxton's not cheap. You know what I mean? Like, from his status. So I talked to him. We worked out a deal, and we got off the tour. I just finished everything up. I sent it over to him. And then I probably still had the project for a good few months, 6 months maybe, 4 months before I released it. And yeah, that's still a long answer. Sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much how that project came about. And then we went, or before we released it, I knew I needed a music video for it. And I found this dude's Instagram be reading your brain and shit. And I see this dope ass dude doing film. He's down in New Orleans named Opus Mercury. So I hit up Opus and I'm like, bro, I got this idea. Check out this song. He's like, bro, this shit's like, he fucks with everyone I play. I'm not trying to sound, out of pocket, but I'm trying to be humble. But everyone I played the song for was like, this one goes, bro. You need to put this out. So we start coming up with visuals. What Yaza Ya. I'm like, we need to find somebody. So I don't remember how, but we end up linking with Sky through, I think, Mike. I flew her out. We rented a big old Airbnb down there. And we went and shot. We reserved this where you see the stained glass windows. It used to be a church, and we reserved that and we filmed in there. Everything else the day before, because in case this went to bust, we did it the day before. We drove 5 hours from New Orleans to Rodney, Mississippi. Not on a whim. I did a shit ton of research, but we used GPS coordinates to get to our location to go film that music video because the town's a ghost town. It's unincorporated. It's off the map. Go look at Rodney, Mississippi. You'll find it on the internet. Go look it up on your Google Maps, and it's not going to pop up. So that was pretty dope. Like shooting out there in a real ghost town, some spooky shit. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so we dropped the video. We dropped the project. I knew I had to drop something. So I knew I had to drop something heavy for that. So even with Fago Gang, expect it. Expect it. You know what I mean? Expect what you. I just expect a good quality video because what I got in my brain, and if we can get the right spot, I got this place in the Bronx. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of place it is, but I got this place in the Bronx to shoot it, and it's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie just like this was, pretty much. So we're gonna have fun with it. But yeah, that's the Lord of the Flies shit, man. That shit just Thank you, man. I appreciate you asking about that project. I haven't done anything I did the Acetone project actually since, and I'm just throw this out there because I don't know if you're gonna ask me about what's coming up, but I will say this: I'm trying to get something else out before the tour. If not, I'll work it out in between the legs of the tour. But what's today? Wednesday.
Yeah.
Friday, there's a new single dropping, and it's a diss song.
Oh shit. That's what's up. What's it called?
If I tell you the name, you're gonna know who I'm dissing, but I really don't care. I'll just let it out. Well, actually, you might not know, but it's called Bootleg Fuckface. So, do you know any podcasters with the first name Bootleg, last name Kev, out of Arizona?
Yeah, bro.
Fuck that guy.
Listen, yeah, no, it's forever. Fuck that guy. I put him on blast.
Trey Pound makes the track. Shout out to Trey Pound. Wait till I went Tupac. I'm talking over myself at the end of the track, talking shit. Wait till you hear it, bro. Fuck this guy.
Hell yeah.
Pause. Fuck. F that guy. Yeah. I won't be too loud.
Yeah, man. No, like I remember whenever he interviewed Jay, the first thing I did was drop a comment like, hey, this fool, like a few months back, was running his mouth about the clowns.
Mm-hmm. So a couple days ago, I was like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, someone find me the bootleg shit where he talking shit about juggalos, right? It had always bothered me. I had seen it before. When I don't follow him, but sometimes his shit will come up in my feed just because it's like, it's hip hop or whatever, and the artist maybe I fuck with, he's talking to or something like that. And I go on there and I write, Bootleg Kev sells meth to juggalos. Like, because of what he said. Because he's like, oh, juggalos they're in a gang, and are they? The guy asked, are they violent? And he's like, no, they just like smoke meth and drink a lot of Faygo and have bad hygiene. And so, obviously I'm not trying to say that juggalos do meth. I'm trying to be an asshole and be like, oh, you're the one trying to sell meth to juggalo, like, you know what I mean? Like, by saying that. And I've said other things to him too. I'm like, oh, Bootleg Kevs does meth and drink Sprite or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just like wild, shit. And he'll respond back, or he'll or like or heart, or maybe it's just his people on his page. I don't know. He doesn't get that many views, bro. His podcast is not popping like that. So you ain't got no motherfucking money from that shit, dog. You paying people to come on your podcast. A couple of them probably fuck with you and come on there for free. You definitely paying people to come on your podcast. Fuck you. I'm coming to your city. You can pull up at the show. You fat-faced bitch. That's my motherfucking message to him. If you want, you can hear the song. You can hear what the rest I say to his bitch ass. Because I went in, bro. Like, I can't believe no one else did it. You see, I don't do this for like, I did it because I felt it. You know what I mean? I was just like, I'd seen him or something. His fat face came, and I was just pissed. And I was like, who did this? Or who? Someone find me the clip. I think Waffalo. Shout out to Waffalo. He's a fucking clip genius. He finds the clip, sends it to me. I get a beat that night. I think I wrote it out or did like a reference recording for it. And then like 2 days later, I record. I was like, nah, I gotta put this out. I really gotta put this out. I was just like, I was listening to it, and I was like, nah, I need to record and put it out. So I recorded it. I put a thing on. I hit up Trey Pound. Trey Pound mixed the track, gave it back to me like 2 days later, some shit like that. I didn't even ask for any changes or whatever because it was perfect the way it was. Shout out to Trey Pound. Bass on the song's fucking nice. I didn't even think it was gonna be that bassy. I was like, ooh, this is nice. I listened to it in the car, like, this is nice. Yeah, fuck Bootleg Kev. Sincerely, yours, Love Faygo Gang, bitch.
No, for real though,
bro.
man.
I had fun. There's some funny shit in the track. Some people might get offended.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that because I've been campaigning fuck that dude forever now, and you're probably right. He probably does pay for his interviews. Like, I know some artists be doing that. Like, shout out to Crunchy Black, who tried getting me for 2.5 racks.
yeah.
No, but yeah, man. Like, to some of these people, they feel like they got a story and that's worth being paid for. And hey, man, like, if you're getting paid for that, like, fucking kudos to you.
Kudos to you, but so yeah, when I back to the original basis though, when I heard that, I obviously it never stood with me. I don't do meth, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure some people in their past have done it or this or that or whatever is anyone's business. I don't approve of it. I don't think it's a fucking cool drug. But him saying that just completely rubbed me the wrong fucking way. And I'm like, bro, someone's got to fucking say. I was just pissed, and I was like, someone's got to say something, bro. And if it's gonna be me, whatever. I'm gonna be the one to fucking say something. Fuck that guy. So forever and foremost. And then what pissed me off was this bitch ass had the clowns on, like you said. So I'm like, oh wait a minute. So now you're sucking off the clowns, but a minute ago you're calling all the clowns fucking tweakers, all the clown fans tweaker. Oh, their fans are tweakers, but they're okay to have on your podcast for numbers. You bitch ass trick. You know what I mean? Like that's how I felt about it. Felt some type.
Yeah, for real.
And I was like, I
For
got
real,
time
I
today,
agree with
cuz. So fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Like whatever. He's a Juff. He's not even a Juff.
All right, looks like we got Benny here. Maybe.
Benny?
What's good, Willie? It's Ben from LA. Oh, I can't hear you guys no more. My shit's tweaking out. I'm gonna have to reload it.
Dang. I can't hear you now, Haze. Can you hear me? Yeah. I hear like a clicking noise. Hey Benny, I'm gonna kick you out for a minute, see if that resets this. Nah, I still hear it clicking. Let's see. All right. All right, I hear you.
Hold on, that's not my headphones though. Headphones. All right, how about now?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Hey, give
All
me
right,
1
cool.
second. Let me check on the kid real quick.
Are you good?
You good, boo boo? All right.
Hell yeah. So going back a little bit, whenever you first came into the scene, you kind of came in at a crazy ass fucking time because
Right
that
before.
was
Right before.
right before the Great Divide.
I remember seeing Twisted pull up to watch Gmo perform at the stage that we were performing at because they were going to sign him. I remember like all that. Yeah, I remember it was right at that era, right before, and they did a really big. They had Twisted had a huge fucking set that year at the Gathering. I remember that because it was like it was one of these in the fucking crowd. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that anymore in the crowd, bro. It's not. It's just not like that. Everyone's too old, I think. But I remember that shit being wavy. Shout out to Max B, but that shit was wavy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, how did that, like, how did you feel about that whole Divide thing? Because you came in like literally like right before all that shit started popping off.
Ooh, here we go. You want me to like give you the PC answer, or do you want me to like be honest?
No, you, be honest.
Because some people don't like my honest opinion here. I never cared for Twisted. Sorry. Point blank. Again, I'm from outside of the world. And when I come into the world, and I'm not saying that they don't have some great songs, and I'm not saying I've given them all the time to go through their catalogs. I haven't at all. But I was never a fan. And I'll say this, in my opinion, in the world I was in, when I seen Twisted, and by world it wasn't, I don't mean like I was like gangbang or anything like that, but just the people I was around selling fucking pounds of weed, and you know what I mean? I looked at Twisted as, how do I say it? First off, I already knew who the clowns were. And then I saw these other guys wearing the clown stuff. And I don't know if I knew that they were with the clowns or not necessarily. And they had their hats all sideways. And they were just like two like, yo, what's up? Malibu's most wanted homie for me at the time. So some people don't like when I say they're like, oh, bro, but Twisters, you got this album. Okay, I'm not shitting on. I'm giving you my perception at that point in time how I looked at things. And it's not that my perceptions changed too much, to be honest, but you know, I gave them a little bit more of a leeway. So when the divide came, again, I'm so fresh too that it doesn't really affect me in the way. I'm like, oh, that sucks. But even then I had like looked at the rosters of who was on whose label because I was interested in all that, and I'm an artist and I want to see how they have things laid out. And so, people tell me there was already the divide when they started doing their own label stuff and when they left the label, whatever. So that was the beginning of the divide, people say. But it didn't affect me in the sense, and I was like, well, I'm over here and I'm riding. So if you got something, I don't mean like fighting shit, but if you got something to say, you can say it. But I'm over here and I'm riding. And if I got to, and if there's a divide, and I'll say not as a person or a fan, but as an artist, if I got to make a decision what side I'm standing on, I think I've been pretty fucking clear what side I'm standing on. So that's all I got to say. I'm not in the forefront fighting the fuck Twisted, you know what I mean? And to get back together, whatever. That's not on me. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with my opinion. I don't think I'm not saying I don't have the right. In the beginning, I used to say I don't have a right to opinion. But later on, I was like, no, I do have the right to the opinion because I had been around so long at that, 10, whatever year, 15 years now or whatever. So I don't know. I was on this side. I'm not like, I've had some people like open my eyes to the situation because I talk shit a little bit here and there, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, fucking Twizzlers and this and that. And when we're at the gathering, I'm like, hey, people are walking by. I'm like, oh, Astronomicon's that way. You know what I mean? Like, we fuck around, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't have hatred. I'm not like writing diss songs to Twisted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they've said some foul ass shit. If you want to, I'm going to give you more of the observe the outside. I think they've said some foul ass shit online talking about the people who deserve to get their kids taken away and this and that. You know, in all honesty, there's probably people in the world who do or need to be schooled or whatever the situation is. But like how they worded some shit online a couple times that I seen clips of, I was like, y'all are being pretty cocky and ignorant for that, because without the clowns, from what I've seen, there would be no you. And not for nothing, you know, like shout out to Ouija. I fuck with Ouija. Ouija didn't come in wearing clown paint because he signed with it. You know what I mean? And maybe that was the thing on Psychopathic at the time. But again, as an outside observer, whatever year they were coming out and I had seen them, I was like, the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I didn't know in my mind if this was someone trying to diss the clowns, or because I just saw a music video on MTV of these dudes and it wasn't Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, who I knew who they were in a hip hop sense, because I'm not a historian, but I know a lot in hip hop and I've always paid deeply attention to it. So yeah, I'm not on the front line saying fuck them, whatever. If I've seen people that are like, man, it would be great to get. Some people literally aren't friends because of the shit, and on that level, I'm like, yeah, bro, it'd be dope if y'all could be and just get over your dumbass differences of who likes who. Like, I was a Pac fan, so I don't listen to Jay-Z. I don't fuck with Mobb Deep. I don't fuck with none of, you know what I mean? Like, I was a Pac fan. I was loyal. Like, that was and even today, I still don't fuck with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? I've listened to a little bit of Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? It's not too of my thing, but they're all right. But so I understand being a fanatic in that sense. You know what I mean? And not going over boundaries and lines. But I've seen where it's fucked. I could say I've seen where it's fucked up shit. But none of us were there. None of us know that. All of us think we know what led up to it or what broke the straw's back. But none of us know all the fucking details either. And business is business, and people are going to feel some type of way. And whenever you're under somebody in any type of label, you're probably going to feel some type of way, like, oh, they put this much into their promotion, but not ours. Well, they're the leader of the pack. The big wolf got to eat. You know what I mean? Type shit. So I don't know. I could go in and deeper into the stuff of it all, but you know, again, I had like Joe kind of schooled me one night. I'll just say shout out to Joe, man. If Joe ever sees it, shout out to Joe. Joe does a lot of the merch, and he did. I was at a show and I was talking shit about the Twizzlers, you know, like, well, sorry, Twizzlers, but yeah, I was talking about something about Twisted, and he was like, da-da-da, and he was like, bro, he's like, don't you remember? Because Joe had a fucking Fail Gang channel I had given him years ago, and he told me that. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, at the Twisted show or da-da-da, and I was like, he's like, yeah, he's like, I do merch for both of them, and Shaggy don't care, like, you know what I mean? Like, business is just like they. So I think in our level of it though, there's a level of like, yeah, but we got to be like street soldiers or riders or whatever. Not like that in the sense of like going out like that, but like if you see us going back and forth, they're not going to let us back on one of the sides. You know what I mean? Like if you see me doing the gathering and all this and or you know, like Rob books the shows, I'll just be real. And then Rob sees me, and I'm not saying Rob would do this, but like, because there's bigger artists that do it and get away with it. But if you see me go on a tour with MNE, and I'm on tour with Twisted, and you see, I mean, not for nothing, we're not the biggest thing, but I know our name rings to some levels. I know Rob knows who we are. He shouted us out at fucking J-Day when he was doing the, when he introduced ICP and was doing the Warrior shit. He was like, in the Juggalos versus the Fail Gang, and no one's smoking. He said that shit on stage. I about shit myself, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, there's way older crews to be shouting out than us. Like, thank you. So, and that was even a few years back. So, again, like, for me as an artist, you're not going to see me going on tours with them. The fuck would I, you know what I mean? Like, I could it be all solved and considered? I don't know. That's up to them. If they say it's cool, it's cool. But I don't got problems. Like my boys, Michigan Misfits, I love them to death. I've known them forever. They go do shows with MNE. That's their, I don't think they're picking side, but that's just what they fuck with. You know what I mean? And that sound or whatever. And I'm good friends with them. I don't care. You know what I mean? It don't bother me. Like fucking bitch ass Mike Hogang's got a Twisted tattoo on his arm. He's not a bitch. That's the homie. I'm just playing. I just had to say that because he got a fucking Twister tattoo. But yeah, I mean, I can be opinionated like that, but it's all fun and games, bro. It doesn't. I'm not fighting nobody over it. I'm not punching you in the face over it. It's not my war. It's not my battle. But if there's a line drawn, I'm obviously on one side of the line. That's all I got to say.
Right. Like, I don't know. I thought when they started talking about what was it that they quoted? Why do something different when you could just do it better? I remember Twisted saying like that shit online and just being like, dude, what the fuck? And
yeah, that's kind of
they really wanted, they thought they had it, you know what I mean? And then you start seeing artists falling off and all the artists are claiming the shit that Twisted was claiming, you know? But at the end of the day,
and no one's there for that side of the business, and it's kind of funky because like you know, I'll use Horror as an example, right? I talk with Mike a lot for this tour. I bounced a lot of ideas off of him. Shout out to Horror. He did the artwork, or he did the characters. I did the back artwork and all the other everything else, but he did the artwork. You know what I mean? That you predominantly know for the tour. There's a lot of inside business that's like, let's say artist X is getting this money for something and he's bringing his boys, right? Like this situation you can say of our tour. It doesn't mean that like everyone's going to eat off of that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, and we have an understanding like everyone's going to eat, but there's positions or how you eat is different. So we don't know what their deals are. And when you look at them and go, oh, well, they did this and this and this. Well, what about all the time that they let you do this for free? Or I don't know what their deals were, but use studio for free or crash at their cribs and eat their food. And the times you borrowed off of them that were just like, oh, I'll look out for you because you're my artist or a friend. We don't know any of that shit. You know what I mean? I don't. And I don't care, bro. I don't watch drama TV. I don't watch court TV. I don't like that. I don't fucking flip on TikTok, bro. I don't got time and I don't want to see your drama. You know what I mean? You catch me for like taking a shit in the morning, I might flip real quick and saw some wicked clown shit and I'm like, cool, like, you know what I mean? But I just feel like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not into the whatever. Yeah, sorry.
I feel it. So We'll change the subject for you.
No, my brain just kind
Oh.
of flattened out. That's what that was.
Nah, you good, man. So, how do you manage like being a full-time dad? Right, you're pretty much a full-time dad from what I can gather. And
Yeah, well, I got 50-50.
being Wil E
So
Haze.
when I'm here, I'm by myself with her, and then I mean, she goes to her mom the other half the time. But I manage. I try to manage when she goes to sleep and not pass out because I'm usually tired by that time. We've done homework and we've played outside in the dollhouse, or we've gone to the park, or played basketball or done art. I had her screen print her own T-shirt the other day, or her own hoodie the other day. Like I be dadding it with her. And so, when she's at school, that's time I try to get things done. Sometimes I just got to take a break and not do anything. You know what I mean? Just relax because, like, especially with this tour, I'm exhausted already. And excuse me. When she goes to bed and she's at school, I'm working. And when she's with her mom, I'm working. I mean, there's been times where I make sure I'm up. She's never late or nothing, but my alarms are set. But there's been times I've been up till 2 a.m. working. I get up at 7 a.m, take her to school. I take her to school. I'm working all the rest of the day. Pick her up from school. Go do our activities, whatever it is. Feed her homework. I just do it. You know what I mean? I don't drink coffee. I don't do caffeine. It's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like I just have that. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't have another choice. Like I got to do for her. It's not going to get done, and I got to get everything done for me, or everything falls apart. So you rather paddle the boat. I'm not saying my boat's sinking, but like you rather paddle the boat or you don't. You know what I mean? And that's my mentality, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like go hard or go home. I don't know. Don't go home. Don't have a home to go to. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is. I wouldn't change it. Does it make it harder? Like, sure, but I'm able to pull things off. Look what we're pulling off right now. We locked in 22 fucking cities. Well, 21 in the New York shit, which if you want to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, there's, you know what I mean? I have that she's with mom for spring break this year, so I got that time off. And then the times you see me,
right.
The other times you see me are my weekends off, or my 5 days off, because we have it like the way the schedule's set up. It's 2-2-5. So 2 days, 5 days, and the next person or the same 2-2, and then the next person gets the 5. So yeah, it just is what it is. Gotta hustle.
Which I think it's important to point out how many dates you just said you have on this fucking tour, because you don't see a lot of artists, like especially in our scene, going on like a fucking 22 date tour. Like that's insane, bro.
And we've always done it big.
And it's not just like spot, like, because a lot of people that do like, okay, like we're gonna go out on tour, but then like they go to a date, then they come home, and then they go to a date. You know what I mean? Like break it up, like. But you're actually out on fucking tour.
Ours is broken up a little bit after the first run. Like you'll see us every other weekend, kind of out. But yeah, we east to the west coast basically is what we're doing. We're gonna start out over there, and we're gonna come over here, and then go down there. And I got 12 more places I could probably book that I'm just like, all right, where are we gonna fit this in at? I just messaged the guy today, and he's like, all right, hey, we might push things into September, October at this point. But I don't know. What was your question? My bad. I forgot the question.
No, you're good. We're just giving you your flowers for 22 tour dates.
Thank you. I thought that was yeah. Just it worked out that way, and I wanted to go. Shout out to this dude Logan. Logan booked us for Reading. I don't say this dude, but shout out to Logan. I put a thing online when me and Hor were talking. I was like, all right, who want to see us go on tour? And he was like, yo, if you come up to Reading, I got a spot for you. And I was like, man, we never do the East Coast, and Juggalos don't do the East Coast. And I'm like, I want to do the East Coast. I've been over there before. We've taken a little white over like North Carolina and shit, but like I wanted to go do this East Coast shit. So I was like, I'm going to make it happen. Whatever I got to do, I was like, I want to try. We tried to get into Michigan, and we could have got a spot in Michigan. I still wanted to do that, but the money, the guarantee was paid somewhere else. I got to go where the money is. So but I wanted to get over to the East Coast. So then things started working. Virginia Beach hit us up, yada yada yada, and everything. You know, the Reading, but Reading started it. So for shouts out to Logan, because without Logan, we wouldn't technically be I mean, we might have still technically done it, but that's what kind of sparked off the whole like, yo, I'm gonna aim for the East Coast on this. And then once we did the East Coast and when the word was out, people were like, what about here? What about here? And I was like, all right, well, you know what I mean? We'll just try to pull up everywhere we can and pull off what we can. And that's basically what we're doing. I mean, it's just, yeah, it is what it is. It's a nice, organized, well-oiled machine we're about to put out on this road. That's for sure. We got tour documents. We got dates and cities and everything's lined up and travel times and everything. You know what I mean? And buffer times and everything. And then not for nothing, I'll lead into this if you don't mind. We were supposed to do a show in New York City, and if from what people see online now that they already know, but New York City fell through, and because of that, I was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna make New York City our show." Hold on, my computer's not charging, and we need to be charging. Give me a second. We're gonna run out of.
Whoop whoop. What's good, Swills? Everybody else tuning in right now. Y'all the shit. TZ. We got fucking who else we got in here? Y'all the fucking shit. FTM Studios. Oh shit. It looks like his computer just died. He was going to get a cord to plug in or something. I'm not sure. But here we go. Yo, there he is.
All right, we're back. We're back. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. Right as I saw my shit about to die, it died on me. So my bad. Let me see if I can.
No, you good.
Get back to where we were. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right, we should be good from here on out. I'm plugged in. I thought I was plugged in. My bad. So we had a show set for New York City, and basically our New York City show fell through, and that was a big thing I wanted to do because no one ever people do New York, and shout out to Theodore because he offered us to do a spot up in like Catskills, but to do New York City it's a hard place to do. Like I hit up mad places, and whether no response or I need like two grand at the bar, like meaning they needed the patrons to spend $2,000 at the bar, or else I'm responsible for the $2,000. Like I'm not doing that shit. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? I couldn't necessarily find a promoter to get the guarantee and all that out of New York, so I was just like, fuck it. What if we just perform on the corner and go hit a couple different corners up, and from corner to corner, we ride the subway and we perform on the subway, like just us. And then it became like, well, I already knew some juggalos from New York City and shit, so I was like, well, we could hit them up. And they were like, why don't we just like make it the show on the shit? And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Or when I say we, sometimes it's just me in my head having the conversation. Sometimes it's Mike or somebody I'm talking to, but that's basically what that was. So we're gonna pull up to New York City. We're gonna start off from I think we're staying in Jersey, but we're gonna start off from there. We're gonna meet up everyone in Queens. Like one of the homies already hit me up, and I gave him like some of the times and shit because we didn't put the times out. But if you're riding, you're just riding. But he was like, I'm not gonna be able to do the whole thing, but I want to pop in for part of it. Where y'all gonna be? So we pretty much hit some like hot spots in New York.
and like the blocks and the boulevards to go to. We're gonna start off in Queens, in Astoria, which is like a real happening area. Then we're gonna go down to Coney Island, which is the boardwalk in Coney Island. That'll just be like a good little scene. Then we're gonna go up to Brooklyn, and some of these train rides are honestly like an hour in between. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna be performing the whole time in between. You know, sitting, talking, joking or whatever, telling stories, but like we'll also be performing on the train with everyone. You know what I mean? Like with the random New Yorkers on the train and all the juggalos that are with us. My homie just hit me up. He's like, yo, there's this old lady. She does, he didn't mean like old, but he's like, there's this old lady. She does like video and stuff and photography for some paper in the city or something like that. She wants to pull up to this. I was like, bet. You know what I mean? There's actually these, I shouldn't, I want to say too much, but yeah, we're trying to get some extra surprises out for it. But that's going to be a little cool event, even if like it's just the 6 of us, because there's 6 of us in the vehicle moving around. It's still a good thing, and we'll get other people's attentions, and that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna. I mean, ain't no one ever. Look, people have done the shit in the curbs where they perform on the curb. People have done shit where they perform on the train. I've never seen anyone do a tour in a day around. So I plan a tour within a tour, and do a tour in a day in New York City around the city, and that's exactly like, you know what I mean? It's freshness at its best. I don't think. I know ain't no juggalos ever done that shit before. We about to pull that shit the fuck off. More or less anybody else. So that'll be like juggalos did it first. You know what I mean? Like rappers, country artists did it. No, juggalos did it first. Fagel Gang fucking take over for goddamn New York City.
That's crazy. Like I know
and I got all the
whenever
train times
Hollywood
and everything.
Undead-
I'm well planned out. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, I was just gonna say I remember like whenever Hollywood Undead was just coming up, like back in like the MySpace days, you know, before they got their deal. I saw them in front of Hollywood and Highland Metro Station. Like they filmed the video for number 5, like the original version. They fucking came up, I believe, up off the metro and went on like a little platform stage there. And so like you talking about this, it brings back memories of that. But I've never heard of anyone like going on the train actually, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, they came up off the train and ran up there and like performed. But actually on the train, like that's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. It's gonna make for good content for whatever it's. You know, I was like, look, at the end of the day, we all get to perform. It's not like you're gonna have like a crowd of like 100 people run up on. You know what I mean? It's not. You know, we're not Post Malone standing on the fucking corner or anything. But some people will stop and watch. And like I said, there's a good little amount of juggalo homies that say they're gonna pull up. There's some New Yorkers around. There's some people out there. You know, we exist everywhere, y'all. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun little event. That you've gotten the most information from everything. I mean, it's on the website, but like that's the most disclosure I've done for it so far. I need to do a little video on like the gram explaining what we're about to really do. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be something. I'm not trying to spray Fago in the fucking nothing like that. Spraying Fago ain't my shit. You know what I mean? I do the Fago Gang song, but like that ain't my shit. I don't. You know what I mean? Like. If I'm up there for Fago Armageddon, yeah, I'm goosing you motherfuckers out in the crowd. But, I'm not trying to get – I want to have fun but not be like, spraying Fago in the fucking goddamn subway and then get kicked out. And, you know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to get to the – we don't want the speaker taken away or nothing like that. So, but we're going to have fun. We're going to goof the fuck off. It's going to be some jackass shit.
So is this the video you were thinking of for the Fago Gang song?
No, but you know what? Like – there will, I've always said this. There's gonna be, and now that you said that, that kind of went in my head. I've always thought about releasing a live version of Fago Gang. I don't know if I mean like vocally live, but at least like drop the music video, but drop a live cut of different stage performances, whether it was a dope club or at the Gathering or at the Float or whatever. And I'll probably piece something like that together, and then I would probably use some of that in that video. But no, the other Fago Gang videos, it's cinematic. It's written. I mean, there's not like like a bunch of lines or like a movie, but it's written out and it's more cinematic than anything. It'd be a nice big good joke, I think, at the end of the day. But yeah, no, but that is a good idea, and I will intertwine that because I've always thought about. because somebody said, why don't you just do this for your music video? Because they're like, why are you waiting so long to do this music video? Like, that's what I do, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got something, not for nothing. I've had the song in the pocket for so long, I don't never got to release it. You want to hear that shit? Sure. Like, artists be all trying to come up with ways to, like, I'm not saying like I'm the biggest or baddest, but artists be trying to come up with ways to be like, oh, you know, I'm not going to release it on Spotify. Buy this tape, and that's the only way you can get it. And like, yeah, that 8 people got your fucking tape. Big deal. But if you do a song in I think I take it in my mind from like Jim Morrison, The Doors. It's funny because there's the Doors thing in the studio right here. His wanted poster from Dade County. Shout out 305 Miami. Shit, what was I saying? Artist. All right, you lost it too. Hold on, what was I just saying?
I lost it too. I'm not even gonna lie.
The
Doors.
I kind of got it from them. What the fuck was I saying?
You were talking about the video, your cinematic Fago gang.
Oh, the song not being released. So like bands back in the day, I should have just said bands because that totally lost me. So bands back in the day, I went back in the filing cabinet, would have songs out that they performed live. There might have been a demo cut or something, but who had the demo? You know what I mean? They would have like the live until they cut the song. And I believe that was the case with quite a few Doors songs, that those were performed until they cut the song. I remember, like, I don't know, Robbie Krieger, Ray Manzarek, one of them talking about it or whatever. I'm a big Doors fan. That's why I thought it was cool that like Tech Nine liked the Doors. I was like, oh, that's cool. Tech likes, you know what I mean? I was never a Tech fan necessarily, but like I thought it was cool that he did. He makes dope music. I'm not saying it like that. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool. I was like, well, then maybe I just won't release it for a while. You know what I mean? You know, it's just this thing. Like, I've had people offer me. I've had more than one person offer me hundreds of dollars for the reference track, the track I play on stage. There's a couple DJs out there probably with it on their laptop because they be pulling shit over sometimes, and I don't, you know, whatever. I don't care. But yeah, for the most part, nobody really got that song. A couple people got on their iPhone because we rehearsed it, or you know, if they was like you know, I'm not gonna say no names because I don't want y'all going asking them for it. But like my boy Stan, he got like live versions of this shit. My boy Lieutenant Stan, he got live versions that he's filmed, and he bumps that shit on his fucking speaker, on his Wi-Fi speaker. Like that's how he plays the song. I'm like, I don't even give it to the homies. You understand? Like, nobody got that.
Right.
I don't even got the shit on my phone or nothing. It sits on a computer somewhere. So on a couple hard drives, and it just exists on a USB, and that's it. So Hatchet is another song too. Yeah, I got a bad bitch. Yeah, she got a hatchet. That shit ain't out. I just performed that. I've been doing that. Oh, pipe. Oof. I got the beat and did the song in 2020. I don't know when I started performing it, but yeah, that shit's been 4 or 5 years in the pocket. I didn't put that out. Motherfucker, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I'll get to it. Like, it's good art. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna live in a world where everything's rented. You don't own movies. You don't own the music. You know what I mean? You don't own, even if you own a house, you don't pay your property taxes. They will take your shit. You know what I mean? You don't own anything. And they want that. They want, you know what I mean? Well, guess what I own? Fago Gang, bitch. And you can't take that from me. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, it is what it is. I just think it's kind of it is what it is kind of thing. And Wheels hit me up from Egypt the other day when they was over in Egypt. And he was like, bro, where the fuck is the Fago Gang song? And I was like, it's still not out, you know? He's like, I need that shit, dog. I be bumping it on the recorded versions. He said the same shit as a matter of fact. So y'all get it one day, I promise.
That's hilarious.
I'll be honest, if I didn't do the tour, y'all probably would have got it this year. I'll be real honest. If I wasn't doing the tour, y'all probably would have got it this year because I was taking the time and the money and put it into that. But we're doing the tour, so y'all can wait. You can hear it on the tour.
Yeah, man. Which I gotta say, definitely looking forward to the tour. Like I said, I'll be pulling up to Vegas most likely. That's the day after my birthday. So
Nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that shit. You got anything else?
Send me a text and I'll guest list you. Birthday for your birthday.
Bet.
I'll guess. Yeah, straight up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
And if anyone gives you shit, you just come after me. No, I'm kidding. I'll be there. So yeah. I'll be in Vegas. I'll be back in Vegas this weekend. I got a show, hardcore horrorcore tour that's going on. is doing a stop. Scum is doing a stop in Mojave. Last time Scum was doing a tour around here in Bakersfield, Mattapelli brought me down too. But Mattapelli invited me out, so I'm actually gonna go do a show. Let me plug this real quick. I'm gonna go do a show this weekend with them on Saturday, and then I'll be in Vegas on Sunday, and then I'll hit you up, man, if you want. Birthday party. Message me,
Yeah.
remind me, and I'll give you the address and shit. You can pull up to the birthday party. Yeah, and then I take off on the tour. Like 2 days later, I take off on a flight. What side of you don't gotta be too detailed, but what side of Vegas do you live on? North, east, south, west, middle?
I'm right by the strip.
Okay, I'm on the east side, so east side was my reply. So yeah,
Bet.
not too. Yeah, you're not in Summerlin, so it's like a 50-minute ride over or whatever. But yeah, we're having a birthday party. We're gonna have a birthday party this weekend. Some of the homies are gonna show up. There'll be some like not my family, but there'll be like some kids and stuff there. My boys got my homie just had a little kid and shit like that. But so it's not like rowdy shit. But we'll be there. We'll be drinking. We'll have some carne asada and some shit like that. So pull up. Yeah, message me in the inbox and remind me, and I'll send you the address.
Bet.
Yeah.
Bet. I got you.
I remember that you lived in Vegas, but I forgot that you lived in Vegas. So I was.
Nah,
yeah,
you good?
Shit. When you said that earlier, I was like, oh shit, I gotta tell him to come over. So yeah, Saturday.
Hell yeah, man.
Or, no,
I'm definitely down.
Around 1 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, 1-2 o'clock.
Hell yeah, for sure. But yeah, I was just gonna say, you got any shout outs or anything like that you want to give before we get out of here?
Shout out to MC Whore. Shout out to Billy Defense. Shout out to Lil Yak. Shout out to motherfucking DJ Smoke. Big shout out to Michael Lincoln, Agents of Chaos, fucking Kazoo Gang, motherfucking officially unofficial. Big shout out to Michael Lincoln. He's sponsoring the tour. When you see that little shit in the corner that says Agents of Chaos, that's Michael Lincoln, man. And he does I guess I can say he does Incredibuds up in Tulsa. Their dispensary. And then weed shit. So
Yeah.
that's their brand. But but his under Agents of Chaos, yeah, he's sponsoring us on the tour. So big shouts out to him. That's a good look. You know what I mean? He reached out to us and besides that, man, RIP Rabbit 2 Bong. Shout out to everyone we named today. Oddfather, No Emotional, Big Fee, all the old homies and shit. I'm still in contact with everybody. Shout out to you for having me on here. Shout out to everyone who promoted the tour, all the promoters who bought on the tour, everyone who's worked with me on the tour, all the DJs, all the artists about to come out on this tour, everyone who's going to go out to the tour. I want this to be something different. I'm trying to put on a little bit of a powerhouse show. You know what I mean? We're not just look. I'll say this real quick before we sign out. None of these artists are buy-ons. These are my homies, pun intended. But these are my homies. I brought them on tour, then charged them to go on tour. You know what I mean? Real talk. They're paying for their own hotel rooms. They're not paying for gas. They're not paying for the rental vehicle. You know what I mean? Like I brought my homies out because I want to give y'all a good show. There's a lot of good tours out there, but sometimes it'd be like a buy-on, and the buy-on's kind of whack. You know what I mean? No, I want to give y'all a good show. Y'all paid good money to get into the. If it costs $15 to get into a show at the door, and you worked an hour and a half at work, I want to give you a good out. Well, our set's about 2.5 hours. I want to give you that time back and make your money worth it, plus the opening acts. You know what I mean? So everyone on this tour is fucking hand-picked, man. This is a handcrafted event that we're putting together. It's not just like, oh, hey, let's go on this tour and let's just find who can rap and go. Nah, because then it wouldn't be Fago Gang. These are all people I fuck with. All these people, every single one of them have been on my stage at some point in time. I brought them out on my stage. So, yeah, it's just the homies. That's what we're doing. Fago Gang don't fucking bang. What Violent J said? Fago Gang don't bang, bitch.
That's right. Well, definitely thank you for coming on the show. I'm Caligreen Too Fresh. We got the one and only Wil E Haze.
Caligreen and it's Too Fresh.
Right. We out this bitch. Peace out. Woo woo.
Peace. Whoop whoop. Fago Gang don't bang.